Hello, everybody. Welcome to, I think this is the 7th episode of my Minecraft survival series. We are over here in our little base area, next to some wooden buildings, our house, and the enchanting room. You might notice that a couple things have changed, although probably not. So, for one, I now have a bow. I think I'm just going to be taking bows from here, infinity bows, because now you can't get a bow with both infinity and mending. So that's kind of a shame, but I think I'm just going to pick out infinity bows and use them, at least until we get an arrow farm, like a skeleton farm, or just a general mob farm. Another thing you might notice is that there's a bunch of trees gone. The forest has been completely taken off this hilly area over here and pushed back all the way back over there. So, yeah, I just chopped a bunch of trees down for a while, got a bunch of wood. A couple more zombie pigmen have come through our nether portal. I haven't captured any more. We still just have Jeff back here. Is he still in here? Yep. So Jeff is in there. And then I also found a ravine when I was back there chopping down some trees. And I'll put screenshots of those on your screen. And then another thing that I changed is I just moved the I just split the lapis between these two chests, so now we have a little over 2 stacks, and so now the room's a little more symmetrical. I went through another anvil as well, and got all these tools finished, so, well, not finished, but I got some more enchants on the tools and armor, and so I'll go over those with you. So, using books from the fishing farm, I finished getting some armor together, and the rest of our tools. I actually went mining and got the rest of the diamonds we need, and some more. So, there's 6 in there, and then the rest of the ores in here. There's 23. And then, so here are the enchantments I got. On the sword, we've got knockback 2, fire aspect 2, mending, sweeping edge, sharpness, and unbreaking. I don't have looting on here because I think I just put the books on in the wrong order, and what happened is now that if we try to put anything on here, it just says too expensive, because it's got too many enchantments, but looting's not that important to me, but we have everything else, so that's good. And then we have our Silk Touch pickaxe here with efficiency 5 and unbreaking and mending, our axe here with the same thing, and our shovel with unbreaking 3 and efficiency 5. I want mending on this too, but I'm out of mending. Sorry, not mending. Silk Touch. I'm out of both mending and Silk Touch, but those are going to be on there too. And then on our armor, they all have protection 4. We also have Frostwalker on the boots. Mending's on everything except the helmet. And then unbreaking also on everything except the helmet. So pretty good progress there. I just went and finished that up between the last episode and now. We've also got a bunch of name tags. This is, I think, all the name tags from fishing. You're probably tired of hearing it by now, but I've done a bunch more AFK fishing. And we filled up the chests all the way to the top. I actually left this on for a while, and when I got back to it, it was like right up in the hopper, this was filled all the way up to the 3rd space. So all these were filled up. I took some stuff out, so now it's all of these and part of this one. But as far as I can tell, there's no more Silk Touch or mending books in there. But yeah, these are all the name tags. I don't know what I'll use so many of them for. I also went ahead and crafted some of our wheat into hay bales, which might look nice as a decoration. What I might do is use them around the wheat farm as a decoration. But I think for now, we should put some, like, just around in piles. Like that. This is kind of a nice little aesthetic thing. So we'll just make 3 piles here. I've gone ahead and moved all the stone from down in the mine to up here. So now we have a stone chest. And we will probably be moving this again when we create our storage system. There's another thing, I don't know if I've already mentioned this or not, but I've added a lot more chests to the AFK fish farm. I don't know if you noticed. And I also added these little, like, areas on the side here, so we can go into one to stop sliding down the ladder, and then reach, like, the nearest 4 or so chests. While I was getting the wood, I also found... where are they? I found some mushrooms. So I would like to grow some giant mushrooms, because we do have some bones to make bone meal with. So we can make some of that. And I actually have a tutorial on how to grow giant mushrooms. I will, I guess I'll put a link on the screen and in the description. But I'd just like to put some mushrooms around this area to kind of make it look a little prettier. So we can start with one, like, here, I guess. And I'll probably just show you the, like, first 1 or 2, so that you know how I do it. So we're going to go in like this, plant the mushroom, and then remove the blocks around the top here, like so, like that. And then just stand here and bone meal it. And that only took 1. And now we can just go around and get rid of the dirt. And get out of here. And there's our mushroom. So I'll go around and do a few more of these, and I'll show you what I get done. Alright, I think this is all I'm going to do for now. So this is the 5th one. We have 3 of the red ones and 2 of the brown ones. I like the red ones better, but I like to have a variety. And so, yep, those look kind of nice. Eventually what we might do is make some kind of building out of these. I've done that before, like just stack them and made a house out of them. So that might be a cool project to work on later. And now for the main event of this episode. We are going to be building an item storage system. The plan is to make this an automated item sorting system. So we just put some items into a chest and it sorts them out for us. And I have a specific design in mind. It's by someone called impulseSV. I'll put a link to the video on your screen right now and in the description. But something special about that design is that it's there's overflow protection, which means that if one of the chests gets full, it won't jam up the system and cause everything to break. So that's the design we're going to be going with. But one thing we need is redstone comparators, and for those we need quartz, and for that we need the nether. So we're going to be going to the nether, and I think a good thing to do would be to take off some of this armor and put on our old iron armor. I don't know where the boots went, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, there they are. Just in case we happen to die somehow. And then we're going to go ahead and just take an old iron pickaxe. Put all our valuables in this chest. I'm going to keep the bow. And then just everything else will go in here. We will bring some wood and cobblestone. And everything else I think can go. Yep, so that's everything we'll need. So I'm going to sleep, and then we will head into the nether. Alright, into the nether we go. I hope we land in some kind of cave. Okay. Looks like we did, which is a good thing. Yeah, so we're probably just gonna go and do a branch mine. Because it's not really safe out in the open. For some reason my armor isn't showing up here. Might just be a bug. I'm gonna go ahead and begin mining some quartz until my pickaxe runs out, I guess. And I'll be back with you when I have a couple stacks, I guess. Alright, our pickaxe ran out pretty fast. But I just realized that I did bring some wood and cobblestone. So we can just make a crafting table, and then make some sticks. Probably won't need that many. And then make ourselves a couple pickaxes. We should also be careful not to block ourselves off. I've actually got some netherrack in my offhand, so that if need be, I can block up any lava that's just randomly in the netherrack. It spreads a lot quicker in the nether, so I need to be able to quickly cover it up. Alright, I think we got enough. We got a stack and 7. So I think that's plenty. Because I think that we only actually need 1 per section of our sorting system. And it's not like we're going to build it all at once. I think we're just going to start with a smaller section and then build it out over time. So it's time to go back to the overworld, where hopefully it will be daytime. Yep, it's daytime. It's a little bit laggy loading everything back in. And we got a bunch of netherrack too. We can use that for some flame lighting. Probably just not around our wooden house. So I am in another world here to show you what the sorting system looks like. This is kind of one slice, like one item worth of the sorting system. I'm sorting diamonds here. And so this is what one slice looks like. Again, all credit for the design goes to impulseSV. And basically we've got filler items here. I'm going to use fish because we have so many from the fish farm. And then our actual item that we're sorting goes in there. And then there'll be 1 extra in here. And then whenever we get another diamond flowing through this hopper, there'll be a line of hoppers up here above. Whenever there's a diamond flowing through there, it'll fit into this hopper because there's open space for diamonds in there, which will cause the signal to run over to here, activating the repeater, turning off the torch, and letting an item go through. So if we just that's just the filler, but if we just throw this in, see it goes in, but if we just throw like a hopper in there, it won't go through, it'll be stuck in here. And at the end of the line we'll just have like an unsorted items chest for unstackable items or any items not in the sorting system. We are back in the survival world here. I'm going to pick up my gear. There's our tools and our armor. I'll just take off this iron stuff and leave it in there. We'll probably just use it whenever we go back to the nether, because this stuff is way too valuable. Here's our quartz. So we're going to go ahead and get together the materials we need to build the sorting system. We're going to start with a bunch of iron for the hoppers, and then up here I've also got a bunch of wood. We'll grab like 3 stacks just to be sure. Actually, we'll use the birch because I don't like building with that, but we can make it into hoppers and chests. So we can start by just making some chests. So this is enough for like 8 slices of it for the actual chests, because they're double chests. And then for the hoppers, we'll just need single chests, and then we can just go ahead and make some hoppers. That didn't take quite as much iron as I thought it would. And then we'll need redstone, a bunch of redstone. So for each section, we're going to need to make some redstone torches. So start with some of those. And repeaters. We've also got stone in here. So we'll need a bunch of stone. And so I'm just going to keep gathering all the resources we need, because it's going to take a little while. And then we can start building this. Alright, I think we are ready to get building this. We've got enough to start the sorting system with 8 different items. I haven't gotten the filler items ready yet, and I don't even know what items we'll be using. The first thing I need to figure out is where we're going to build this. For one thing, I know there's a creeper over there, so probably not there. Might be easier to just shoot him. Stay away from me. Okay. I think over here would be a good place to start. Yeah, we'll just do it over here. So, we'll just start right here. We'll start by placing down... Oh, you know what I forgot? Is that every other chest has to be a double chest. Sorry, a trap chest. Because you can't place them next to each other, like normal chests. So I need to go ahead and take some tripwire hooks out of here. There's some in here. I don't think we'll need that many. Alright. So half of these, 8, will need to be trap chests. There we go. Because you can't place the normal chests next to each other, so we need to alternate them. So that should be 8 right there, yep. Then we'll run a hopper line into those. Wow, I really am unprepared. We actually need more hoppers than that. We can just make them over here. I will make... Actually, we have that crafting table. Let's go ahead and make some extra chests. And turn these into hoppers. We're going to need more than that. I wonder if we'll have enough iron. Okay, I have a little more. Oh, never mind. We've got 16 hoppers. That's enough. So we can put that back. I'm just saving like half a stack so that we can make an anvil if the current one gets broken, because we are going to need a lot of filler items. So the next thing we're going to want to do is just put down some temporary blocks here. Then our second row of hoppers will go into those. then we can get rid of these. And then our top row of hoppers goes along here. And there we go. So that's the, that's basically all the hoppers we'll need for that, at least for now. Next we need some blocks out in the back here. But before we do that, we need to kind of plan out how this will work. So, let me go ahead and mine away all these blocks here, because we need that for redstone. My inventory is a mess. And then our input chest can go right up here for now. This is all kind of temporary. It'll get moved around. And then so there'll be a row of blocks over here. And the redstone torches will go over along here, like this. And then behind them we're going to have another row of blocks, and we'll put repeaters. Okay. So I showed you the design. The repeaters go along back here, I think. And there's stone there. And then there's stone all the way along here. And then all this is covered in redstone. Alright, and then our comparators just go facing out of here. Next we need our filler items, so we're gonna need about 8 stacks of those. We could probably get away with less, but just need to find some fish, because I've got a lot of it here. Actually, the bottom chest has more than we need. Oh, what just happened? I think it might have glitched. Yeah, somehow our inventory just got filled up with water bottles. Let's just ditch some of these items and get... Alright, that's 8 stacks. And then I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rename these all to filler. These are going to be our filler items for the system. Oh. Looks like there's... Oh, I know what it is. There's a bug that doesn't let you allow... doesn't allow you to rename items in survival. So, for now... what we are going to need to do is just use these without renaming them, and then I'll need to replace them later on. Alright, so the first thing we're going to want to do is just go ahead and just drop these all in like this. Alright, so those are done. Now we're going to figure out what items we'll actually be using. I'm also out of food because I just put it all into the sorter. That's fine. We'll just figure out which items we're going to be sorting. Alright, so we're going to pick up all the lapis from here. And we will put all these items into the system. So what we need to do is just take one out of the first stack and then put in put in our items, and they will all go into here. And so we'll do that for each of them. Just take one out of here. Next I'll just put in gold. That'll begin flowing out. That's a problem. Uh-oh. Okay, so I made the mistake of putting in too many items in here at once. So it overflowed, kind of, and messed up a bunch of these, filters. What we'll just do is put the fish back in for now. Of course that one didn't get messed up, but this one did. Alright, so it looks like this one's all done. Now that this one's ready, we can take one out, put in a diamond. And then if one of these goes in here, it'll just go down into here. So yeah, I know what I did wrong. Next we'll put in the iron. And we'll only do, like, one of these at a time. So it'll go down to here, and then what will happen is, if we put in the whole thing, is they'll only go through one at a time, which won't let the signals get messed up. So even if this chest overflows, the signal won't be able to leak into the other filters. So after iron, we'll have lapis, I guess. We need to take one out of there, and then we can put in a couple. And then redstone we'll do next. Take one of the fish out, put in a couple of those. And then we have 3 more, and so for now, I'm just going to use, say, dirt can be one. Birch planks can be another. And the last one can be apples, I guess. Alright, so now what we are going to do is give this a quick test run. We'll start by putting in an item that doesn't fit, like cobblestone, and this should end up all the way over here. And this is the unsortable items chest. We'll probably rename this so that the name shows up at the top. But that's working just as it should be. And then we can test it with some of the other ones. So we'll put in our lapis, and that should flow here into the lapis chest in a minute. Any second now. Oh, it's a trap chest, so hang on, that didn't mess anything up, did it? No. It's a trapped chest, so we can't open this while it's running. And then we'll chuck in some of our redstone, and that'll come in. Very nice. So I'm going to put the rest of our stuff in here for now. Just everything else I have in my inventory. And this will all get sorted into the correct chest. We can go ahead and take out all our filler items. Although we've got to be careful because trap chests might get backed up. Okay, that's also a problem. They're not coming through when they should be. Oh, they are. They're just coming in at the same speed that they're flowing out. I keep worrying that I'm going to break this. If there's an overflow. But these should still be flowing into here. Alright, I made a mistake. It turns out it was overflowing, and that was because I built this wrong. You're actually just supposed to have one of these items. I thought you needed, like, an entire stack, but you're only supposed to have one in each one. And that way the first slot actually fills up with whatever item you have, up to, like, 41 of them. So, like, there would be 41 dirt, and then they would start going into the chest. And that way, when it fills up, the signal won't leak over, and it won't break the system. So yeah, I fixed that now, so it should work just fine. It should work just the same that it did before. And once I upgrade to the next update, we'll be able to actually rename the fish, or whatever item we choose to use. I'm probably just going to keep the fish, but we'll be able to rename that item, and then there won't be any chance that we'll put fish into this and break it. It looks like these are all working properly. Don't know why there's torches in there, probably just from when I was building it. Looks like these are all good. Yep, see, these will just go into here. And then if that actually, like, fills up all the way, signal is, even if once it fills up to 41, the signal's only going to reach out to here, and then if it gets to 42, this will go over here. One will flow into the chest and it'll move back. That way you never have more than 42, and there's no chance of overflowing. So that's why you always watch the entire tutorial. I would like to thank impulseSV again for creating this design. It's going to be really useful. I'm going to start moving our items into it once I figure out exactly like what the layout's going to be. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do next episode yet, but I've got a couple ideas. And eventually I'd like to build an iron farm, so it's not, these hoppers aren't so expensive. But, not next episode, eventually. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode right here. We made good progress. We now have a fully functioning item sorter. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.